And you have a tough job coming up ahead between all the different things. But look, you're well seasoned at it, that you know the job inside out, so the best of luck. In the line of Mercosur, first of all, I want to say I'm opposed to it, unlike Paul, for the simple reason, even if you look at the backstops that's being put into it, the so-called, cushions, the first thing is we're not on a level playing field with what the way an Irish farmer has to adhere to both basically animal welfare and the different regulations, EU regulations, compared with what they do in Brazil and all the other countries. It's a totally different ballgame. So let no one go telling me that it's a level playing field. Just for the sake of it, just to know, in Ireland with the cap, Sinead, what, you talk about EU inspections, what percentage of audit do you get, roughly, in the overall 130,000 farmers?
I couldn't put a figure on it, Deputy, but I'll follow up.
I'd imagine to be 1 or 2%. And when we go talking about Brazil being audited, they'll hardly, it's going to be like a fly in a wall, to be quite frank about it. It's going to be, very minimum. And in the line of the backstop, I'm correct in saying that they're talking about basically 10% drop in European meat prices before they put a brake on it. But my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, that if it was 9% for 5 years in a row, the backstop doesn't, or the brake doesn't stop. Is that correct?
I think you are correct. Is there some? Yes. So just to fill you in on that, Deputy. So the proposal is for enhanced monitoring and reporting of imports, allowing for quick adoption of provisional safeguard measures in urgent cases, and to enable the launch of investigations where imports increase from Mercosur by at least 10% and import prices are at least 10% lower than domestic prices.
Yeah, so 9% can be for 5 years in a row, which is 45%, and there's nothing we can do about it, to put it simple.
I'm not sure about whether that's cumulative or not. But
well, my understanding is yearly.
Yeah.
On the price. The second, the tonnage that's coming in at the moment with the tariff that's on it, I'm correct in saying then that tariff would be lowered completely along with the 50,000 extra tonnes.
So the tariff would be lowered for 99,000 tonnes over a 6-year period. So I think I could be wrong, and we'll check this, but I think at the moment about 200,000 tonnes is coming in most years from Mercosur countries, and where the 55,000 tonnes comes from is that the assumption, the economic modelling assumption is that you continue to have your 200,000 tonnes coming in, and rather than that increasing by 99,000 tonnes, it increases by 53,000 tonnes, roughly. So, in other words, the South American exporters get a benefit from the reduced tariff on the 200,000 tonnes, and they increase. So you get 253,000 tonnes of total exports rather than 200,000 tonnes. In
relation to the Mercosur deal, and in fairness to you in the department, and you'd be tic-tacking with Europe, would you imagine that it's going to be down to a vote in the Parliament, and that and the Council of Ministers, that the way it's looking at the moment, to call it out straight, is that my reading is that if France gets more money, Italy will throw in the towel, and the veto is gone with Lisbon Treaty and all of that. So the Council of Ministers looks like to go through there, and that the only hope that Irish people have is of blocking it, or the only hope for Ireland is through the European Parliament. Would that be fair to say?
So the Commission's recent proposal gives some clarity on the legal approach that they are taking to the agreement. So they foresee a split agreement whereby the trade elements...
And I'm just sorry for interrupting you, but I'm correct in saying that by doing that split, they have now eliminated the national parliaments from having a vote.
On the trade elements,
Yeah.
so they've taken out the trade elements and split
Yeah.
those. So the trade elements require adoption by qualified majority vote in the Trade Council, and then by a simple majority vote in the European Parliament.
And when you're tic-tacking with them over there, who's allowing them to split this deal? Is there not a Council of Ministers that blocks them, or is it von der Leyen, or is it the Commissioner, or who?
The Commission have the power to propose legislation, so they have the right to propose how they would go about adopting.
So it's unelected bureaucrats that has proposed this, is it?
Well, the Commission have
They're
competence. They have competence for trade matters, and then obviously there's joint competence.
But they're not MEPs, like.
No, but I suppose in relation to competence, Deputy, like there is legislation governing whether competence is a matter for the Commission in some cases, for the Commission and Council in other cases. So a lot of issues would be joint competence, but trade is exclusive EU competence or EU Commission competence. So therefore, if it's exclusively the trade elements of the deal, the Commission have the power to propose that it is ratified.
Have you ever seen this done before, Sinead?
I will check in relation to CETA, as we were talking about the Canadian deal, that was done as it was a provisional agreement only on the trade elements of CETA, because as you know the full CETA has not yet been ratified by member state parliaments, so it's not unprecedented, definitely. So just to explain that there will be a qualified majority vote at the Trade Council, and then a simple majority.
What does that mean? Is that the ministers?
So that is the minister. That would be trade ministers. So in our case, the Taoiseach. And
right.
For that QMV vote, a blocking minority would be required to prevent adoption of the agreement by the Council of Trade Ministers, and that requires at least 4 member states representing over 35% of the EU population either voting against or abstaining on the proposal.
Voting against or abstaining?
Voting against or abstaining, yeah.
Right. So that's the only, it's either that or then it goes to the Parliament, and that is?
Parliament is a simple majority vote, yes or no, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Ard?
Yeah.